Okay, so in New Orleans this weekend, there's Mary J. Blige, there's New Edition, and then there are the contenders. Several candidates are visiting the Big Easy at the 25th Annual Essence Music Festival in New Orleans, where they hope to win over a block of voters many have called the backbone of the Democratic Party. And according to a Quinnipiac poll earlier this week, if the Democratic primary were held today, Joe Biden would be in a virtual tie with Senator Kamala Harris after a dramatic shift in black support. Let me bring in my panel right now, Shermichael Singleton, who's the Republican political consultant and contributing host of Vox Media's Consider It, and Wendy Osefo, who is a political commentator for The Hill and professor at Johns Hopkins University. Thank you, guys. Welcome. Wendy, I want to start with you. Was that moment between Biden and Harris on the race at the debate a turning point in this campaign?
It definitely was a turning point. And, you know, when we look at the demographics, speaking of Essence Fest, you know, black women make up 20% of the Democratic electorate. So anyone who is serious about this campaign has to make a stop at Essence Fest when you see that 500,000 black people were there. Not just that, but, you know, black women are the heartbeat of the Democratic Party, and they're the most loyal base. So any path to a nomination, any path to candidacy runs through the veins of black women. We saw this in 2008 and 2012 when they were the highest demographic that really propelled Obama forward. But what I think is really interesting here is that we have to make sure that when it comes to black women, we're not just taking their vote, but we're also making sure we make agenda that speaks directly to them.
And that's why many of the candidates who were there at Essence Music Festival had their laid out an agenda. Shermichael, to you, the Quinnipiac poll shows that despite a dip, Biden respondents believe has the best chance of beating Trump. What do you make of that?
Well, I think when you look at those numbers, the number one question in the mind of many African Americans is they want Donald Trump replaced. And when you break down some of those studies and you look further, gender and even ethnicity comes second and third to voting for someone who they know can go head-to-head to Donald Trump. And so I think that benefits Vice President Biden. But I also think what benefits Vice President Biden, Candace, to be quite honest, is his 8 years with President Obama. President Obama is incredibly popular within the African American community.
All right, Shermichael, I'm going to have to leave it there, as well as Wendy, and my apologies. The breaking news got the best of the timing on this Saturday. Thank you guys for your time.
Thanks, Ken.